Yeah. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. And welcome to right now, Naropa University's Spring 2024 Commencement Ceremony. Graduation. I'm Aaron Mansiga. I have the honor of being the MC today. The last time I was on this stage, I was receiving my diploma from Naropa University. Environmental Leadership, 2004. Yeah. And I tell you, with the time since then, Naropa's education has only become more meaningful to me. I remember sitting in those seats, I think it was actually right over there, with some of my closest friends in life still. We had just gone through some experiences we were still making sense of. I think we were all giddy with the excitement of the learnings that we just got. I know I felt poised, not really sure exactly what for, but I knew I was poised for whatever might be next. See, Naropa really did help me clarify who I am. And a little to my surprise, I discovered when I was at Naropa, I'm an entrepreneur. Wow, I graduated there with such clarity around personal, meaningful things. I didn't realize, but it was also helping me manifest a professional identity. I jumped into the business world as an entrepreneur with the spirit and the teachings from Naropa, really leveraging business as a tool for positive social change. Happy to say that after 20 years of this, I'm now exploring business as a tool for positive personal change. That's where the social change can really start from. Little did I know that Naropa would have another meaningful role in my life. You see, about 2009, I was contacted by the alumni director. She had just started that role, was interested in getting to know me as an alum. So we met at a beautiful location right down the street, the Boulder Dushanbe Tea House. Yeah. Well, after about 20 minutes, it became a date. Unplanned, but I was from Naropa. I was ready to seize the moment. I was present. Well, we've now been married for 12 years. Our little boy turns 11 today. And I promised him that I would say, "Happy birthday, Max." Yeah. When I was invited to have this really special opportunity, I said, "That's amazing. I need to check in with somebody first." So I walked past my wife and I said, "Max, what do you think of this opportunity?" He said, "Wow, Dad, that's really great. Can I be there with you?" Right? I said, "Well, of course, buddy, but you also had plans to go see the movie." So he's at Kung Fu Panda right now. Truly privileged to be here. It is now my pleasure to introduce Micah Graves and Cooper Sims West, who will offer the invocation. Micah is a faculty member and the director of the Nature-Based Transpersonal Counseling and Wilderness Therapy Program. Cooper is a graduate of the 2024 class, getting her master's in divinity program in the divinity program, and has skillfully served as the Naropa University chaplain for the past year.
Hello, everyone. As you just heard, it has been my distinct honor and privilege to serve as the campus chaplain for the last year. And one of the main things that I learned in that time was that chaplaincy is all about making community. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a minute to make and celebrate community. I'm going to, in just a moment, turn you loose for exactly 1 minute to shake hands, hug, celebrate with the people near you, meet the people near you. Wave at your families. This is a big moment that we're all here together for. And then at the end of the minute, I will ring a bell. If you make me, I will be very annoying with the bell. So let's take just a moment and take a lesson from our Christian brothers and sisters and have a moment of fellowship.
Hello, Naropians. You're a good audience. Good job. Now that you've had a chance to say hello to one another, I'd like to invite you to say hi to this place. So please take a moment to feel the warm air. Maybe to remember a flowering tree or something bright and beautiful that caught your eye on the way in this morning. Maybe scrunch up your toes, press your feet into the ground to feel the solidity of the earth beneath your feet. Now, place isn't just a physical space. It actually is formed by the relationships over time of the plants, all of the beings, the people, the animals, the place. And so it's only right to acknowledge the people who are indigenous to this place as we gather here today. Boulder sits on the indigenous homelands, the ancestral homelands, and the unceded territory of many indigenous peoples who have traversed, lived on, and stewarded this land from time immemorial. Those indigenous nations range from the Ute, who believe that they are of the Rocky Mountains, to the Arapaho, who not that long ago traveled by foot and by horseback, coming to Boulder Valley in the winter to take shelter from the intense snow and wind of the plains. While here, these people gazed up with reverence and awe at the red rocks that we now call the Flatirons. They drank clean water from what we now call Boulder Creek, and they hunkered down beneath ponderosa pine, some of whom are still standing today. So Naropians, as you prepare to embark on this next leg of your journey, I invite you to remember the connections that you have made here, and also to take a sense of curiosity with you. Some of you will be heading to new places. Some of you will be returning home, and some of you will be growing deeper roots here. And I encourage you to take a sense of curiosity about the places you find yourself in. Be curious about the beings who have interacted and formed relationships there over time. Let that inform your sense of social justice, and let that inform how you are in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. It is now my sincere, great pleasure to introduce Naropa University's President, Charles Leaf. Chuck, yeah. Chuck Leaf was named the 7th president of Naropa University back in 2012, and he has a deep, deep connection to the university that spans 50 years. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium for the opening bow, which is a tradition here at Naropa.
Good afternoon. I will open with the ringing of the gong and then the bow for everybody sort of in row 20 forward. The bow is nothing mysterious. For those of you in the back, this is a traditional way for Naropa to begin and to close meetings, classes, ceremonies as a way of acknowledging each other and the space that we're sharing together. So you're welcome to join with us if you would like to do that. Thank you all for being here. I realized as sort of watching us come together that it's a remarkably wonderful and I think unique moment for us to be sharing this space together. It doesn't happen all the time that we can be in a container that is so one-pointedly celebrating the accomplishments of so many people here and celebrating the incredible dedication and discipline and wisdom of so many faculty and the staff that are supporting them who are over here, and to be witnessed by families and friends and parents. So I don't think we should take it for granted. I mean, I've done this a lot, but it's something that really is striking how important this next two-ish hours will be. It might become a little less special in hour 3, so I'm just saying to all of my friends. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Naropa, the faculty, the administrative staff, and our students, it's a pleasure to welcome you all to the Spring 2024 Commencement Ceremony, and to welcome family and friends to this joyous ritual and acknowledgement of the great accomplishments of the hundreds of people who are in front of us. Over the past years, most notably during the pandemic, it's been important to acknowledge and welcome those who have joined our celebration virtually. But what was mostly a welcome for family, friends, and a few students is now emerging as a co-equal part of our time together. We've worked with online courses at the graduate level for some years, a few, but the beginning of the pandemic, we had no undergraduate online offerings. And to the great credit of our faculty, the move to online learning succeeded when it was forced on universities by our health crisis. As a result of that work and the intrepid help of curriculum designers, some of whom are in this room today, the deans, both of whom are behind me, all supported by some federal funding that was brought to Naropa. Now we have, which is sort of amazing to me, 45% of the Naropa students today are enrolled in an online or a hybrid community, which, considering that was 0 3 years ago, is a pretty remarkable move for a small school like us, but one that I think we're incredibly proud of. All the graduates, those at distance and those here, were invited to attend in person, but I know that many of you are joining virtually, and so I want to make sure that you feel included and welcomed. The evolution of how we work together in a learning community is challenging, to be sure, but I do think that small colleges, which are becoming increasingly endangered, without this opportunity for distance learning, also run the risk of being available only to the very wealthy. The reality is that students and faculty and staff at Naropa who may be passionate about being here, teaching here, working here, and studying here aren't as passionate about or able to move to Boulder, to live in Boulder, for a number of reasons. Part is economics. Part is the fact that it is no secret in Boulder that we are not a diverse community. And for people that thirst for a diverse community, can't make it up, can't make it any different. And so what we are facing right now is an opportunity for us to be able to bring in a more quickly diversifying body in our community, staff, students, and faculty, than we would have organically, I think, despite all the best intentions of so many people. And I think that's a very important part of the work that we're doing together. Soon we're going to be honored to hear from my friend Peace Twejeji, whose work at the Union Theological Seminary in New York City is of such great benefit to that community. I'll say more about Peace in a moment, but I want to make sure that we all recognize her on the stage. In a few weeks, at the beginning of the world-renowned summer writing program, which is created by the staff and faculty of our Jack Kerouac School of Disembodied Poetics, the muse will arrive, the trumpets will blare, and the poets are going to proclaim the start of our year-long celebration of Naropa's 50th year. From year one, when instead of the few hundred that we planned to host here, 2,000 people took up the invitation of our founder, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, to teach, to learn, create, perform, and collaborate, all came in search and service of a single question: Could there be a place in the higher education landscape for a university which offered a liberal arts curriculum, including academics and the creative arts, that was built on a foundation of the contemplative practices of mindfulness, compassion, and body-mind integration? I think that question was an open question in the beginning of June, and it was an answered question by the end of July, which was a resounding yes. And a half a century later brings us to this day. We began with great enthusiasm, great heart, and great challenges, and they're all with us today. The Naropa community embraced two distinct but entwined values. First was to be grateful for the commitment, courage, and vision of the founding faculty, the staff, and the early students who were called to be here, who themselves were both founders and inheritors of unbroken lineages of millennia of Eastern and Western academics, creatives, scholars, and importantly, holders of a rainbow of spiritual lineages. The second was to be infused with the profound Buddhist teachings that to understand and to be of service to the world, we need to understand and care for ourselves. The understanding that all phenomena are impermanent, from the fleeting thoughts that we're all experiencing at this moment, and just did and just will, to the structures and forms that we may think will last forever, but don't. But because we share a universe of impermanence doesn't mean that we should embrace a nihilistic attitude of so what. The truth is that each rising moment offers us a choice, and these choices influence what comes next. If we live in a place of fear and selfishness and despair, then that's what's going to affect all those that we encounter and affect ourselves. But if we live from a place of compassion to ourselves and those we engage, whether intimately or from great distance, then what arises will carry the impact of that compassionate expression. This is a 12th graduation address that I've been honored to offer since returning to Naropa and Boulder after almost 30 years away. I stayed engaged with Naropa all during that time as a member of the Board of Trustees, and both Judy and I, and Judy was my third great-grandmother predecessor as president, in 1980 to 85. We have stayed connected, and we're proud to have two daughters who are Naropa alums. So we've stayed connected to Naropa all during these years. But there's never been a year in the last 12 where I didn't feel called to acknowledge the many examples of suffering in the world around us. And I'm not alone. The presidents before me had their own acknowledgments in the same way. In 1974, which seems to older people, it seems like it was recent, and to others, it's ancient history. But in any case, in 1974, amazingly, when I thought about it yesterday, the war in Vietnam still had another year to go. This was not old history. Before the U.S. left in 1975. And as a longtime anti-war activist, I credit my contemplative practice and my spiritual community, which even though I wasn't a student, I was an administrator, a member of the Board of Trustees at Naropa. I got that spiritual community and the practices to offer tools and support to maintain some level of equanimity in the face of the violence that surrounded us half a century ago. In the late 1970s, one of Naropa's founding faculty members, Allen Ginsberg, as well as founding faculty Ann Waldman, along with many others from this community, joined thousands of people to bear witness to the nuclear waste legacy left behind just down the road at the then closed Rocky Flats, where nuclear weapon triggers were manufactured. And despite assurances that all was safe, continued evidence of nuclear pollution on that site emerges, and while housing developments and open space parkland today are welcoming families. And the view of the government, what could possibly go wrong, is perhaps not as encouraging as we need to hear. Sometimes the focus that we brought to witness at these commencement ceremonies was local, as in 2019, where some of you know that one of our students had been the victim just a month earlier of Boulder police violence, which resulted, and to show the impact of how people can come together and make something out of these tragic situations, that moment is what created a police oversight board in Boulder, which has had its own growing pains over the years, but is now up and running and includes a Naropa alum as one of its members. And so a really important result of a really tragic outcome. And clearly, this is leading up to the fact that today, as a nation and a world, we're experiencing a significant movement in bearing witness to the tragedy of the war in Israel and Gaza. We've not seen campus actions like those now underway across the country and around the world in the 50 years since Vietnam, with perhaps the exception of the movement to divest from South Africa as a way of defeating apartheid. I will confess that relating skillfully and honestly to the violence in the Middle East, feeling a deep responsibility to support both Palestinian and Jewish faculty and staff and students, is among the greater challenges I have faced. My gratitude to the members of the Naropa community with direct Israeli and Palestinian roots is without end. There is pain at Naropa. There's unvarnished honesty, undercurrents of anger and fear, and a shared impatience for the reduction in the violence. Violence that caused Israeli men, women, and children to be killed and kidnapped, and violence that cost the lives of tens of thousands of Palestinian civilians, whose tragedy was brought about by causes and conditions that most of the dead and wounded had no role in creating nor any ability to change. The suffering continues with the appalling lack of access to humanitarian aid, while at the same time residents of Israel remain living with their own fear. This is not, and I don't believe can be, there is not, and I don't think can be accountability for the actions of the Israeli government or Hamas without a lasting ceasefire to start and a focus on relieving the current suffering. And I'm very aware that my perspective will not be shared universally, and that last sentence was not enough of a conversation, but it's a point that I felt needed to be made. My view is that Naropa needs to continue to offer the space and the support for protest and conversation, and to serve as a caring container to hold the pain of the Jewish and Palestinian members of this community who have had direct family experiences of violence perpetrated against them. The other week, a student-led event took place in front of our Arapahoe campus. The speeches, the poems, and the music were exceptionally honest, raw, and offered on a foundation that was created by a deeply caring, loving kindness meditation that was guided by one of our longtime faculty members. Jewish students and students of Arab backgrounds literally, physically created a visible container inside of which this bearing witness took place. It was a remarkable moment in Naropa history. I'm on these listservs of college presidents, and the terror that the others are feeling at even how to have these conversations is something which I feel on one hand, and I actually just wish that they had some Naropa students at their campus who could actually be of service to what the work they're doing at their campuses are. So these few minutes that I spent describing my view of the world, for whatever that's worth, the world in which Naropa existed from our beginning was not intended really to be a history lesson, but to offer the complex reality of the world that each of you graduating today and the thousands who preceded you inhabit. So I challenge each of you to embrace the fruition of your journey of growth at Naropa and to offer whatever merit you've gained here by your hard work, both inner and outer, to a world that needs all that you can offer. The credential represented by Naropa degree is only meaningful if it's seen as representing not only the culmination of one journey, but as a commitment to experience the many journeys yet to unfold, and to do that from a place of boundless curiosity, deep care, commitment to serve, and to do it all with an attitude of great joy. How you express that commitment to be of service is wide open. For many of you, the path may be direct. Your BA may lead to graduate school, here or somewhere else. The master's degree in counseling psychology will lead to licensure and professional work with those challenged by mental illness, by trauma, despair, depression, or people in need of a skillful companion. For the Master of Divinity holders, your chaplaincy work may take you to hospitals, prisons, educational institutions, religious institutions, the military, any number of places where the skill that you've learned in the chaplaincy program, in the Master of Divinity program, could be of service to the world. But I'm also sure that many of you, and maybe partially thinking about Aaron's opening comments, many of you will be surprised at what might happen after your time here. I know artists and performers who are Naropa graduates who now show up as entrepreneurs. interdisciplinary graduates who have embedded themselves in nonprofit and for-profit businesses, in the structures of civil society, as teachers, as guides. The same mystery of what will unfold holds for those of you with BAs in psychology or environmental studies or religious studies or yoga studies. Anything is possible, and you can have a direct path or you can have a winding path. Both will be wonderful, and probably you'll experience more than one of them. And now Naropa, some of you know, is serving postgraduate clinicians who are committed to doing training in order to offer healing services using the increasingly validated benefit of psychedelics or natural medicine to treat PTSD, major depression, and other mental health challenges. We're also supporting, as policy advocates, indigenous healers who hold a lineage of sacred use of these medicines going back millennia so that they can continue to offer medicine in that sacred container and not be tied up in a medical model which is not the model that is theirs. What's important to emphasize is the work you have done over these past years was to prepare you to embrace this mystery, these mysteries, plural, I think, with confidence and skill. The cloak of compassionate action that, while invisible, will soon be placed on your shoulders and will embrace you as the peaceful warriors that define the Naropa graduate. I want to thank you all for enriching this community. We're 10% along the way of our 500-year experiment as set out by our founder, and I offer the deep thanks to each graduate who leave here with a degree, but also who leave behind the genetic markers of your wisdom and kindness for the benefits of all those who will graduate in years to come. I'm going to conclude with a short poem that was written by our founder, Trigmantrum Rinpoche, in 1977, that I've read now, I think, at each graduation ceremony where I've been able to speak. And I'll note that I translated 2 Sanskrit words from this poem into English so that we don't have to stop and study that. In the jungles of flaming ego, may there be cool iceberg of awakened heart. On the racetrack of bureaucracy, may there be the walk of the elephant. May the sumptuous castle of arrogance be destroyed by diamond-like confidence. In the garden of gentle sanity, may you be bombarded by coconuts of wakefulness. So thank you very much. It's now my pleasure to welcome Peace Twesaji, who is going to offer her remarks to the graduates. Peace is the director of Buddhist Studies and the Thich Nhat Hanh program for Engaged Buddhism at the Union Theological Seminary in New York City. At 188 years old, Union Theological Seminary is the oldest such seminary in the U.S. Peace also assists in designing and overseeing the curriculum in Buddhist studies and supports and creates spaces for contemplative practice that serve as a basis for students' social engagement and service to the community. Outside this role, Peace enjoys coaching, teaching, and consulting with individuals and groups active in social change, seeing relationality as central to our path of awakening. I first met Peace because she was invited and accepted an invitation to join the board of directors of the Lion's Roar Foundation, the Buddhist media nonprofit where I'm privileged to serve as chair. And we've had a wonderful few years of getting to know each other. I'm especially grateful because I will confess, I asked Peace 6 weeks ago if she would be willing to offer this graduation talk, which is not, it is typical of what I do, but it's not what you're supposed to do, and she generously said yes, and so I'm very grateful to please welcome Peace.
Thank you. Thank you for this warm welcome. It's really been a delight to be here. On this land, it is so striking, living in New York City and being in such a place that really, at least for me, allows me to feel the foundations. Hearing in the dedication of land that the Ute people are from these mountains, and recognizing that I am also from a people that are from mountains, from the Rift Valley. Really, moved and touched me, and I feel that here. So it's really an honor to be here with you celebrating today, and such a wonderful delight to be on this land. So, I was asked recently to give this address, and I really graciously accepted, and through all that's happened in the world, I couldn't write, I didn't know what to say. So this was a recently written speech anyway, and in hearing everyone speaking prior, I definitely know that we were drawing from the same ether. So you're going to hear some remixed and maybe reworded themes that might just be so true that they keep coming through each of us. So congratulations, class of 2024. Yeah, it's really lovely. It's an honor to be here celebrating with you. In addition to honoring the land, I'd like to acknowledge all of the lineages of Buddhism, of the creative arts and sciences that have come to be the foundation of Naropa, and wanting to acknowledge faculty and staff here and the board, and all of the families and friends here and online virtually who are celebrating with us. It's really wonderful. So, where should I begin? Well, my intention is simply to offer something that's supportive today, to contribute to the celebration. And so, take what's supportive for you, and maybe the rest might be supportive for another person here. I'll offer some reflections on a bodhisattva's path, and how we might live together compassionately, responding to the suffering in the world and our interconnectedness, appreciating the small moments, which are most of the moments of our lives, right? And also allowing for the joy, right? Because joy is here, and now is the time that we have, right? So, as you heard, I'm currently the director of the Thich Nhat Hanh program for Engaged Buddhism and Interreligious Engagement at Union. And, it's historically been a school that's oriented around social justice. And it's also the home of Black liberation theology. Yeah. Yeah, and for any of you who don't know who Thich Nhat Hanh was, he was a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, poet, scholar, political refugee, political activist. And I am a child of political refugees, and Thich Nhat Hanh was my first teacher. And, as Chuck was saying, some of us might have meandering paths. I did not expect to be where I am today in these roles that I'm holding. I initially got a bachelor's and master's degree in music performance, and then had a back injury and needed to make a pivot, and got another master's degree in special education, and worked in New York City, and really enjoyed working in elementary schools for 5 years, and got another really major injury and had to pivot again. Right, so while I was a Buddhist practitioner from my teenage years, there was no way that I thought that this is where I would land. And yet, if I tell you those details about my history and where I stand now, it can make a lot of sense. And so really just assuring you that for those of you who do have a meandering path, it's okay, right? We can't anticipate where life is going to take us, and living with wholehearted intentions to move in a particular direction can set you with a sincere purpose. And life has a way of surprising us. So our ability to move with what life offers will be a practice for all of us in the years to come. And also, given this historical moment and what President Leaf already said, I just wanted to say for myself that there's just so much unnecessary suffering in this world right now. Right? And to start naming the people and places and lands and nations who are affected by negligence and active violence, for me to start going through all of that would take a long time. So I won't do that. But I would really like to remind us that it's not all out there, right? It's here too. However subtly, it's in our minds, it's in our hearts, it's in our relationships, and it's in our communities. So really take that to heart and notice and notice. When we look deeply, we can understand that no one's free when others are marginalized and oppressed. So, and so knowing this and seeing this and feeling this in the small and large ways, allow that knowledge to continue to move and shape how you are in the world. And so for those of you who consider yourself bodhisattvas and would like to move in that way in the world, responding to the suffering in the world, an urgent question on your mind as you leave Naropa might be, what am I going to do in this moment? And maybe it's clear for some of you, but if it's not, I would simply invite you to start where you are and to do what you can, right? Use the wisdom that you have, the care in your heart, your moral imagination, and your skills, right? Engage in relationships and communities and systems that reflect the world that you would like to live in. Start building systems for our future. And if all of that feels overwhelming, you can start with the small things, right? With yourself, with your friends, with your family, with your food, with your phone, right? With the land that you're on, right? All of these small connections can allow you to be curious about how you're in relationship and notice that impact. I know you've all heard it before, right? But it really is true that when you're connected and embodied and present to what's going on right in front of you and listening and speaking from the heart, new worlds have the possibility to come into being, right? Aaron gave us a beautiful example, right? Being attentive to a meeting, right? An alumni meeting can change the world, right? And so to not acknowledge the challenging elements that are happening within us and around us during celebrations can make the celebration itself feel hollow, right? And can be destructive in the long run. So it's already been acknowledged, and I'd like us to just remember that the world, well, in my view, the world is often fractured because we haven't attended to the healing of our tender hearts, and as a society. And so I have no doubts, right, that many of us here are deeply affected by what's happening here in the country and around the world in the many ways that there are issues. And really feeling and being connected to our emotional lives, however uncomfortable it is at times, can help us connect to others compassionately, meaningfully, and especially when we're steered by our values. So remaining aligned in your integrity can be a basis of confidence for you as you move through the world. Conflict is inevitable, but violence is not. I see violence as a poorly handled conflict. Sobonfu Somé of the Dagara tribe in West Africa said, said, conflict is the spirit of relationship asking itself to deepen. So I'll say it again. Conflict is the spirit of the relationship asking itself to deepen. So when there is conflict, right, there doesn't have to be violence or even pain. Conflict isn't inherently bad. It can even be generative, right? But when there is pain, we should allow our many forms of compassion to lead the way to deeper understanding. And in the world, there are diversity of needs and on many levels. And so really feel for you what is the best way to engage in your life and in the world. And that will likely change over time to really stay attuned and embodied. There's a lot of social pressure in the world for you to conform, right? To communicate, to act and be in particular visible ways. And not everyone is going to like you or what you do, and that's okay. Allow yourself to know what's best for you. Trust yourself. Feel your heart, discern your values, use your voice, and do what's within reach. So Thich Nhat Hanh said, the seed of suffering in you may be strong, but don't wait until you have no more suffering before allowing yourself to be happy. And I agree. We can celebrate and feel joy, even during these times when there's pain, confusion, and difficulty. And so you, class of 2024, are graduating today. So let's... So let's take a moment for you to reflect on the many causes and conditions that have allowed this day to be possible. Starting in childhood, from the adult figures, siblings, friends, the people in your life that showed you something about love, about play, about security, to your adolescence, when perhaps peers were more dominant in the force in your life, and they helped shape the experiences that you moved toward and away from. And here you are now, as adults. How have your experiences, curiosities, positionalities, and decisions brought you to this day? What support was offered along the way? Really take a few seconds to remember to visualize some of these times. And notice how your body feels, what images arise, what emotions bubble up. And as you may know, through personal contemplation or through Buddhist teachings, causes and conditions are infinite. And so it's truly a gift to be here today with all of the ups and downs in life that you've lived through, right? You've already demonstrated the fortitude, the fortune, right, of resilience and perseverance to be graduating today, with your efforts and the efforts of so many other people that have been seen and not seen. The friends, the very people here, your friends, your family, the folks you've met here at Naropa, they're all here celebrating with you today. And so we've already done it, but do it again. Go ahead and look around at all of the people here around you for this celebration. Today is a day of shared celebration. The community is celebrating the accomplishments and fruits of working together. So without communities, much less is possible. Community cannot be overlooked and must be emphasized for long-term well-being. I'm sure each of you have worked hard, and like today, your happiness and satisfaction in the future will often be forged in communal contexts. So today was not inevitable, right? Let's all remember that we can live into the reality that we are made by and with each other, giving and receiving, and the mutuality that can often be easy to forget, but is always present. And so in closing, as you graduate and transition into new roles and contexts, don't forget the tools of contemplative education that you've gained here at Naropa. Continue developing your practice of radical self-honesty. This will help keep you humble and kind, and even help you be bold when it matters. You've been schooled in a very unique way. The skills you have and your ways of knowing will differ from those around you after you leave Naropa. It'll take a certain amount of commitment and courage to continue cultivating moral imagination and to offer a new vision in the world that might not initially be understood by those around you. Build communities around you that embrace diversity of thought. This will support your creativity and ability to listen deeply, allowing you to cultivate self-trust and knowing where you stand. And it can be a space for you to offer a differing view while maintaining relationship and community. If you can have and grow a mutually respectful relationships across difference, you'll have a broader view of the world that we live in. Each of us individually cannot have a full picture of the world, but together we can know, do, and be more. And so finally, I'd like to emphasize that primarily life is made of the small moments between the big moments. So the glances, the hugs, the laughter, the kind words, the tears, all of it. Really care for the small moments in life. That is the majority of our lives. So be there, be here. Right? I encourage all of you to develop an intention to appreciate what is here and available to you right now. May your lives be an expression of gratitude for all that has been offered to you. May you all savor the connections, love, and joy in your life today. And may trust, community, and love be the foundation for joy, courage, and perseverance as you continue living life in ways that will have impacts in the world for generations to come. So congratulations, class of 2024.
Peace, thank you. And thank you for being with us today. How about some music? You're in for a treat. I welcome Grace Clark to the stage. Grace perform a piece called Song. Grace is graduating with a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, somatic counseling. But wait, there's more. She's also a professionally trained opera singer, musician who performs folk and bluegrass music with her band. Grace, the stage is yours.
This one's for you. Okay. Believe it or not, we rehearsed that a lot. Check one, check two. I guess I can do it without a mic.
Yeah, get in front.
That's okay.
Using my... Oh, that one's on. Yeah, Chris. No, that's that.
Can you hear me now? I'm really glad we had those 3 minutes there because I was very nervous, and now I feel very comfortable. So. It's been a long year. I've come on hard times. I've got a lot to say that will never leave my mind. Just hold me. Just hold me.
listening to the radio. I got the volume turned down, and the sun is sinking low. You held me, just hold me, just a little while longer now, just a little while longer now. I'm going to Colorado where the weather suits my clothes.
Oh my God. Okay, this is giving me confidence.
I'm going to Colorado where the weather suits my clothes.
Can you tell we're the sabbatic program?
Just look at that moonshine. It shines across state lines. Well, I'm hillbound, I got air along Independence Pass with my heart strung out on the breeze. We're a mile from the trail, and for the first time in my life, I feel free. And it holds me. Just a little while longer now. Just a little while longer. I'm going to Colorado where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going to Colorado where the weather suits my clothes. And I'm going to Colorado where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going to Colorado where the weather suits my clothes.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you for that. All right, onward. Now I want to welcome to the stage Professor give me a second, Kojatashkin, for the faculty address. He's the Associate Professor and Chair of the Masters in Contemplative Psychotherapy and Buddhist Psychology in the Graduate School of Counseling and Psychology.
Let's see, I'm going to move this a little bit. Good afternoon. Let's see if I can turn on my iPad. There we go. Wow, I am so impacted by what has been offered so far. So much gratitude and grace. Also, President Leaf, peace to CJ. Thank you. My name is Uğur Kocataşkın. I'm a Turkish-American gay man, a first-generation immigrant. I came to Naropa as an international student and graduated from Naropa a while back now. And as you can see, I'm still here. So watch out. Who knows? I have the immense honor to be invited and offer a few words to you as a member of the faculty. And I'm looking at all of you, graduating class, and seeing you. You are so beautiful. Wow, so beautiful. Look, everyone, aren't they beautiful? Amazing. This is an address of actually gratitude and trust. You're graduating, and that means that we trust you. We trust you to take what you've learned here, and that you will take it and embody it, be it in the world. There is gratitude to everyone, maybe ancestors, maybe teachers, family, friends, relatives, loved ones, pets, other beings, everyone who has actually contributed to your journey, to your being here. So deep gratitude for all of those folks. Some of them are here, some of them are not present perhaps, and some are joining us virtually. Much gratitude to all of those folks and beings. Throughout your journey here, you've endured us presenting to you many practices, meditations, maybe guided meditations, experientials, and so forth, that you really endured, yeah. And maybe one final one, I thought, if you indulge me. And just to let everyone know, some of the people here know that I'm a prankster. So if actually tomatoes fly my way over here from students, I totally deserved it, just to let you know. So if you would be willing to, Peace to Asija took you to a journey of coming here, and if I may take you to another journey of these years that you've been with us, and various of you had different time here with us, but if I may take you into that journey very briefly, if it feels comfortable for you, if you would close your eyes and just notice what's present for you right this moment. And go back, if it's available to you, go back to the moment when you came for the admissions process. Do you remember that? Do you remember yourself? Do you remember your heart? And then you started your journey. You became part of a community, a class, a cohort. What happened? What did you learn? What stands out for you in this journey? I'm sure so many things. What were some relationships that were really impactful for you? Who loved you and supported you here in this journey? And this is a moment also, as you do this, to really acknowledge if I may invite you to remember how hard you worked. I'm sure you don't have to remember. I'm sure you haven't forgotten. How hard you worked. How much you challenged your hearts, your bodies. Maybe for some of you, being here was the first time that you noticed you don't have to always believe what your mind says, and you can be present with kindness, with acceptance of what is in your mind. So, as I invite you to conclude this, I want to encourage you to keep practices like this with you as you move forward, so you continue to integrate what happened here. So you remember the important moments, and you cherish, you appreciate and acknowledge your hard work and your hearts and your wisdom. I'm one of the faculty members, and as faculty members, we have really challenged you sometimes. We taught you things, and in our best ways, we tried, and sometimes you came back and you asked for more. Those are the moments I really appreciate the most, that when you asked for more, you did ask for more. Or what we taught was limited for you. It wasn't inclusive enough or expansive enough, and you challenged us to do better. As part of contemplative education and first-person learning, we asked you to personally integrate what you learned and take this learning into your own being and path. And you met us there. You tried, you integrated, you questioned, you tried to embody, you did embody the teachings. And then you met us here and in that place, and in response, you also held us accountable to embody those same teachings ourselves. As our care for you demanded, sometimes we gave you feedback. You either resisted, and we were annoyed, and then almost always you integrated, you took it, and when the time was right for you, you integrated. And no matter how this unfolded, we stayed in relationship, and we learned together, we grew together, and here we are, here you are. Regardless of your field of study, we asked you not to take sides, and not to take the easy and default paths, but apply critical thinking and radical heart. We asked you to remain curious, open, even on the face of pain, struggle, suffering, and conflict. As we all know, this is not easy. We are all impacted by systemic and societal forces that continually magnetize us to take sides so we can find ground. But often this is out of fear and lack of trust in our basic goodness and in others' basic goodness. It is important to acknowledge that it is a privilege to be an institution that firmly holds the view of basic goodness and be supported in this view when we judge ourselves, when we judge others. It's a privilege to be able to practice this. It's also a privilege because it requires tremendous amount of support. And I truly hope that each of you have found that support in community and in yourselves to continue to trust your basic goodness. In our view here, the practice of basic goodness is actually an ethical responsibility. So I can fully take responsibility of who I am without needing to go to guilt or shame or despair. But my sense of basic goodness can allow me to actually really face what is there to face. I know each of you continue to meet us in this practice in your own ways. We asked you to grow your capacity to stay present with what is, which means first accept it, be with it. And then let skillful action arise. Now, as you're getting ready to walk across the stage and receive these sleeves over here that will soon hold your diplomas, I want to tell you, and I hope you can truly hear me, I want to tell you that we trust in you. We believe in your basic goodness fully. We know that what you have learned here in theory, practice, and embodiment will benefit you and the world around you. We send you off with our deep trust and confidence. You're ready. Are you ready? You're ready. So go, be who you are, and continue to become who you are more and more fully. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I welcome our undergraduate student speaker, Natalie Alexis Hugh. Natalie is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Art Therapy. As well as experiencing student life as both a residential and an online student, Natalie has served as a student leader at the Student Union of Naropa.
Hey, y'all. My name's Natalie Hsu. It's okay. No worries. It's okay. Yeah, I am an undergraduate in the. Sorry, I'm gonna put a stopwatch on just so I don't go over in time. Here we go. Undergraduate in the art therapy and elementary education programs. I was a community communications officer in our student union. Yeah, and above all, as with so many different students, fellow Care Bears, who on top of full-time school, and on top of a quarantine pandemic, on top of a state of divisiveness, across our country and our world. I met a lot of people that showed me and showed everyone else, I'm sure, that they are worth standing up for. Yeah, if there's anything that my experience and education at Naropa really grounded for me, I'm now in full, unequivocal belief of, is that people care and people will stand up. Yeah, I have a really deep tie to that. That brought me to Naropa. Yeah, childhood stuff, Yeah, I got bullied really bad, physically and emotionally. And going through that alone, no one standing up for me trying to stand up for myself, and not really seeing that that harm end. that was really hard to grow up with as a young person. I can only relate that to so many different rungs of experience. At school, I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not alone in that experience. A lot of us have suffered, felt extremely vulnerable, really scared to stand up for what's right, scared to be ourselves, scared to be visible, scared to rock the boat, and I would go so far as to imagine scared to stand up for others, because it is scary. It's scary to be right here, right now, speaking in front of you. I love you so much. And with that, I also recognize what a privilege it is to have 5 minutes to speak. I know that there are a lot of other beautiful people, other student leaders that were nominated and wanted to say something up here, so I do not take that lightly. Naropa. I saw us just immediately inclined towards and embody and practice mutual aid, potlucks, Shabbats, DIY art shows, I don't know, just all these shows and stands of I'm here with you, let's name the harm, and also just celebrate each other and create this environment where it's brave. And it's okay to grieve in community, and it's also okay to celebrate in community. We're all here. Naropa and beyond, I really do believe that we are all here in service to multiplying and sustaining joy, as well as responding skillfully and compassionately to suffering. I don't think that's exclusive to Buddhism or Naropa. Yeah, I really learned about the power of a gathered group and the shared heart that's inside of that. We learned how to feed each other, anyway. We took care of each other when, I don't know, certain processes, policies, protocols did not feel satisfactory, when we were victims and survivors of harm. And so, okay. Yeah, we're getting nervous right now. It is hard to name harm in front of people, and everyone behind me did such a beautiful job of that. And it's really cool to know that what I believe in, what we believe in as a student body, was also echoed up here, by our leaders. So if there's anything that Naropa has taught me, and it's to stand up for people who don't have a voice, whose voices are systematically oppressed, marginalized, censored. And just when you name harm, that doesn't mean that you're saying screw someone else. It's telling us where does it hurt, and how can we best respond to that? Because we want everyone to win. We don't want anyone to get hurt. So with that, I say, free Palestine. Thank you.
Natalie, thank you. Next, I welcome our graduate student speaker, Roxana Astamborski. Roxana is graduating today with a Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling with a concentration in mindfulness-based transpersonal counseling. In the student speaker nomination form, one of Roxy's professors said that she, quotes, embodies Naropa through self-awareness, humor, and clear seeing.
Hello, I'm Rox. It's an honor and my privilege to be with you all today and to speak on behalf of this graduate class. 2 years ago, I patiently and proudly watched from the audience as my initial wilderness therapy cohort walked across this very stage. I chose to punctuate my professional trajectory and birthed and raised a child partway through the program. I'm still raising her. Hey, honey. Hey, baby. At 2 years old, my daughter had gifted me with a forever altered sense of relating and the marvel that is unfolding life and a life unfolding. And as I was sitting in these very seats with this blessed perspective, I prepared myself to re-engage in my educational endeavors and envisioned this eventual day. I had no clue back then that the ceremonial bagpipes would leave the biggest impression, or that I would get a chance to leave an impression now. Class of 2024. Comrades, at this time, I encourage you to locate a yellow card that looks like this. It may have fallen. It may be in your lap. It may be getting sweaty and wrinkly. It may be a great fan. On it, you will find some lyrical notions. I implore you all, when the time soon comes, to consider offering your voice, to sing along with an enthusiastically penned, hopefully cathartic chorus that you will find at the top of the card. Please ready yourselves to join with me. And everyone, I invite all of you in this hall to stand up, and maybe those too watching from afar, stand up and get curious about moving. Go ahead. Go ahead, start standing. Yeah, you have permission. I already asked everybody. It's okay. And let's get curious about this emergent moment. Music. Graduates, friends, let us dance as we're going to market. If it feels safe, I invite you to dance freely, to take up space, to connect. Hear me out. World-class training, class and style. Personal grads go the extra mile. Uplifting spirits with care and zeal. Cue it up right here. I got your ticket to heal. Intensive learning, asynchronous live. East meets west and ideas collide. You came for answers, we got questions inside of us. The greatest of lessons, breathe. Going to market, transform your world, yeah, we're on it. Look ahead and remember, the here and now, feel the splendor. Come on, breathe. Go into market, transform your world, yeah, we're on it. Look ahead and remember, the here and now, feel the splendor. Compassionate, cream of the craft, translational odysseys, emergent drafts. I imagined you all dancing, bypassing the mindful, not a chance. We touch and go, we dive in deep, apply the basics like love and sleep, advancing wellness, interoception. Notice your bod to the fullest expression. Adjustment, grief, the existential. How much of this reality is the mental? Empathy, the game, listening, the art, relational learning, it's heart to heart. It's a jungle out there, but we ready to play. Got that crazy wisdom, pearls to Piaget. Internalized focus, solution finds. If it were my dream, I'd explore our minds. Breathe. Transform your world, yeah, we're on it. Look ahead and remember, the here and now, feel the splendor. Come on, breathe. Go into market. Transform your world, yeah, we're on it. Look ahead and remember, the here and now, feel the splendor. Come on, breathe. Go into market. Transform your world, yeah, we're on it. Look ahead and remember, the here and now, feel the splendor. Come on, breathe. Go into market. Transform your world, yeah, we're on it. Look ahead and remember, the here and now, feel the splendor. I want to thank Naropa's chairman of the board, Suzanne Belanley, and Mark Wilding, the other members of the board, our president, Chuck Leaf, all of the executive leadership council, Jeremy Moore, and all the beautiful faculty, staff, and alumni, the Office of Career and Life Development, all of you beautiful people right here, my colleagues. Thank Thank you to the bottom of my heart for my mom and dad and everything they've done for me. To my husband, Harry, and all of our friends and family who supported us to be where we are today. Thank you as well to Simon for being here through it all. Blessings to you, sweetheart. We're getting better and better every day in every way. Mommy loves you. Hey, nice moves. Nice moves. Class of 2024, we did it.
I've got about 20 seconds of video I need to get to you. You're gonna love these 20 seconds of video I just took of you. That was awesome, awesome. Hey, right now I'd like to welcome President Chuck Leaf and the Dean of the Graduate School of Counseling and Psychology, Dr. Linda Black, to confer the graduate degrees.
You have to say something.
Say it again?
You have to say something. You need,
am I?
unless you've memorized it, you need
I have
to
no
be.
idea.
Well, I'm going to help you.
Cool.
All right.
I could use the help.
Master's degree candidates, would you please rise?
All right.
You do that, then I do that.
I'm going to get in close. I'm going to get in close on our president. Mr. President, the individuals now presented to you have completed all the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts, Rock the House, Master of Divinity, or Master of Fine Arts, and at the request of the faculty of Naropa University and on their behalf, I present them to you for the awarding of degrees.
Cool. Upon successful completion of degree requirements, by the authority vested in me, I confer on you the degree of Master of Arts, Master of Divinity, or Master of Fine Arts, with all of the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. So you can all be seated and follow the directions of the choreographers. Thank you.
You're welcome. I invite Kelly Watt, Senior Director of Admissions and Alumnus Relations, to announce the graduating students' names.
Thank you, Linda. Can you all hear me okay? Everybody hear me? Great. Louder. I can be louder. This is a very important role, and so if I pause to get it right, I know you all give me space for that, so thank you. Yes, come on up. The degree of Master of Arts, Clinical Mental Health Counseling, so many cards, Concentration in Contemplative Psychotherapy and Buddhist Psychology, Courtney Nicole Adair. Sophia Burris. Kira Danielle Butler. Phaedra Charles. Carrick M. Crace. Oliver D. Franklin. Austin, Grafa, and Carson. That's a lot. Oh, goodness. Delaney Lloyd. Aurora Lyon. Allison Parks. Caitlin Alyssa Peoples. Carly Lynn Price. Swecha Rajbandari. Ilana Margot Santana. Tiv Adler. Raymond Neal Tapia. Monique Vincent. Brianna Alicia Sambrana. Concentration in somatic counseling, body psychotherapy. Claire Elizabeth Bailey. Emily B. Brown. Liz Cabanis. Grace Clark. Caleb Michael Dotson. Casey Elizabeth Dunn. Isabella Inegida Akeze. Madeline Diane Elkin Aquino. Grace Joseph Gurney. Dennis Guyven. April Jean Lampert. Nicole Lynn Lloyd. Carrie Majorca. Jacob R. Miller. Alexandra Irena Rafe. Gabriela Christina Rivas Field. Catherine Sophie Skogard. Kyle Robert Vandenbroek. Concentration in somatic counseling, dance, movement therapy. Jamie Malin Barnett. Heather Gabrielle Sienna Bourne. Kaylee Renee Crummy. Nicola Elder. Megan Enya Gaynor. Livy Hansberry. Cass Sky Howlett. April Maple. Mars Schaefer. Audrey Elizabeth Steele. Midnight Townsend. Concentration in mindfulness-based transpersonal counseling. Casey Lee Anderson. Tate Ankenbrandt. Roxana Astomborski and Simon. Amelia Bishop. Dominique Bolin. Camilla Cabot Bradley. Miranda C. Burwell. Carolina Maria Campos Iribarren. Jesse L. Carter. Juliana Childs. Sarah Michelle Clark. Sarah Jane Coffey. Angela Ellen Curry Davis. Kimberly Dennis. Joseph DeVasto. Paige Novak DiChiara. Carly Ray Dillon. Lauren Marie Dosher. Carrie Irene Dunn. Efson Elchi. Scott Brian Epstein. Tate Sprite. Sarah Ford. Brett Samuel Gardali. We're going to put a hat on. Yeah, there we go. Dean Joseph Gestel. Allison Gagner. Callie Graysa. Garrett Madison Graham. Heather Rachel Greenberg. Melissa Gail Grogan. Sarah Halverson. Sajada M. Harris. Lucy Heller. Hannah Hispa. Isabel Marie Hodis. Heather Hodge. Christopher Horvath. Justin M. Jenkins. Joy Jeck. Cecily Ann Krieger. Ashley LeBeer. Avery Stowe Latterer. Kathy J. Lee. Sydney Bess Lido. Madhava Davis. Jeremy Mason. Jay Monger. Chelsea Nicole O'Connor with Tully and Maybell. Sarah Pepe. Zhenya Pomerantsev. Dagny Lucia Pottersmith. Kelsey Rellis. Drew Robertson. Alexander Philip Rose. Justine Hannah Rosenbaum. Tyler Smith Coppis. Hannah Elizabeth Spring. Eden Tara Swartz. Samantha Taylor. Catherine Verity Thornburg. Jillian Morgan Tosta. Lissa Trieger. Ooh. Charlene Vanderblock. Jessica Lynn Wagner. Nicholas David Walker. Michael Coleman Wood. Concentration in transpersonal counseling, psychology, transpersonal art therapy. All right. Inez Cochran Saura. Leela Bindi Coyle. Aaron Doherty. Sky Dowell. Kelsey Joe Geiger. Catherine Elizabeth Jones. Susanna Levy. Jocelyn Kate Long. Charlotte Lovejoy. Justine Astrid Marroquing. Krishana Meyer. Lily June Patino. Margaret Mary Pollock. Sean T. Stone. Alicia Theophil. Concentration in Transpersonal Counseling Psychology, Transpersonal Wilderness Therapy. Catherine Bennett. Katie I. Clement. JC Cole. Ismari Lala Colon Angera. Dan Danielson Delaney. Kaylin K-Dog Dermo. Daphne Mariko Drake. Mary Edwina Fusen. Sophia Ray Lemise. Michael Mahoney. Christopher Mitchell. Margaret Ann Olson. Brandy Cretora Palm. Gabrielle Elise Popovich. Nicholas Inman Sharp. Mantha Abigail Svensson. I might need a reminder. Transpersonal Ecopsychology. Monica Grace Adamitz. Jennifer Michelle Crabtree. Patrice DiChristina. Michelle Faulkner. Megan Elizabeth Garhan. Miranda M. Hansen. Cecilia R. Jordan. Olivia H. Krawchuk. Ash Lounsbury. Ashley Moody. Megan Stanford. Vanessa Tavernetti. The degree of Master of Divinity. Duncan Anderson. Rachel Hayes Frick. Jeffrey Greer. Hadesba Mickelson Cumulus. Cooper Sims West. Carly C. Sin. Chalice Ann Stroby. The degree of Master of Fine Arts, Creative Writing and Poetics. Caleb Matthew Cheadle. From Jeffrey. Benjamin Kenneth Claus. Gagne. Remy Malik Gates. Enrique Gautier. Kaylee King. Joy Park. Shreya. Wait, gotta do it again. Okay, we got it. Shreya Shrestha.
So I'm now happy to welcome the Dean of the Naropa College and Graduate Collective, Betsy, Kelly, I need help. Betsy Gonzalez-Blom to join me in conferring the undergraduate degrees. Bachelor's degree candidates, would you please rise?
Mr. President, the individuals now presented to you have completed all of the requirements for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts. At the request of the faculty of Naropa University and on their behalf, I present them to you for the awarding of those degrees.
What happened to the please rise part?
You rose them.
That's okay. That's fine. It's fine. I don't know if it counts if you're not standing. That's the thing. I'm reading what I'm supposed to read here. Upon successful completion of degree requirements by the authority vested in me, I confer on you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all of the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. Please be seated.
The degree of Bachelor of Arts, Art Therapy. Olivia Skye Craner. Elijah M. Delaney. Mia Noelle Gregoire. Natalie Alexis Shue. Contemplative Psychology with a concentration in Somatic Psychology, Finn Schroeder. Environmental Studies, Sean Soaring Eagle Shriver Carlson. Interdisciplinary Studies, Brian John Coons and River. Cyan Mariah Dennis. Joshua M. Elkins Fowler. Ambrose Kelly James. Nicole Danielle Mathura Price. Diana McEwen. Tashi McKellop. Sammy Mims. Ryan Hunter Nash. Amparo Maria Pareja Avila. Jules Tibbles. Psychology, Niemi Falco. Janine Laurel Kaza. Billy Keene. Ari Lipskaya with Liv and Solon. Oscar Alejandro Pietri. Rachel Rice with her 5 up there. Hi. Francis Shembri. Isaac Sheckman. Melinda Jo Van Dyke. Concentration in Contemplative Neuroscience, August Tapp. Concentration in Psychological Science, William Seth Reed. Concentration in Somatic Psychology, Alexander Reese Edwards. Rowan O'Donnell. I can't say the program names, but the people are okay. Traditional Eastern Art Certificate, Yoga Teacher Training. Gabrielle Rising.
One more time, let it out, let it out. Hey, graduates, we got something new in common, don't we? Naropa graduates. Perhaps for you, like me, the relationship in Naropa will just continue to deepen, continue to transform. Yeah, you can see it. We're so close. Truly, may your relationship in Naropa continue to be meaningful over time. I've had 20 years now, and Naropa still holds a piece in my mind like an old friend, a quirky old friend. But truly, that crazy wisdom that shows up for me at just the right time and just the right way, may that also be your experience with your deepening relationship with Naropa over time. In just a moment, President Leaf will close the ceremony. So please remain seated until the speakers leave the stage and the students process out. Then you can follow the flags out. So please join us for a reception immediately following at the Nalanda Events Center on the Nalanda campus. Who's going to remember an address? They gave me 6287 Arapahoe Avenue, okay? Nalanda. President Leaf.
So I'll invite you to join me in the closing bow. I'll ring the gong as well. And for the last couple of years, I've been noting that the vibrations of this gong is something which, even though everything is impermanent, this sort of lasts for a long time. And so as it goes through each of us, I'll invite you at unexpected or necessary times to touch back in to the vibration of this gong and the memory of your journey here at Naropa, with much gratitude from all of us for everything that you've done for this community. So thank you.